Kenyans. Today is 9th of January 2026. The year is progressing well. I can feel the love among ourselves as Kenyans, and I can see the efforts that each Kenya is putting towards catapulting Kenya to the progress and towards the growth and our aspirations to become a great nation, first world nation. It doesn't matter how long it will take. It doesn't matter who will take us there. It also does not matter how we will get there, as long as Kenyans, we are united, we love each other, and that our efforts are reflected in what we do. For long after independence, since our founding fathers, they fought for oneness, whereby a Kenyan from northeastern Kenya and the other Kenya from Pwani, a Kenyan from eastern side of Kenya to the Kenyan from the western side, the people of Nairobi and the people of the rural areas, whereby they can coexist together. I know that was the dream of our forefathers. And that's why in the first education system, they tried their best to Kenyanize the education, whereby the schools that were occupied by the whites, purely by the whites, they were taken from those systems and many Kenyans were introduced into the system. And that's why in the late 70s, that is 1970s, the Kenyan system was overwhelmed by the number of Kenyans who are willing to join and study because they saw the benefits of education. Others were fighting just to get a slot in whatever best school they can get. And due to that, Kenya produced many merit-based students such that the system could not employ all the people who are learned. And by the mid-1980s, that is 1985, the government thought of a way of doing away with just teaching people to take up white-collar jobs. That's why they came up with 844 system. 844 system was made to eradicate the need to educate people only for them to be instructed on what to do, or just to teach people who robotically do only what they are taught. That way, 844 system was introduced. It introduced so many other aspects of education where people learned hands-on skills, where they could help themselves, where they could become innovative and create different items. Due to that, Kenya developed quickly and we became a better country. However, with every progress and the changes in the world or globally, and with the introduction of the technological changes, that is the technology, there are many changes that are happening abruptly, whereby it is not easy to catch up unless we embrace ourselves to do better than we are doing. And due to the endurance of 844 system, we produced another lot of so many educated people who could not be born or whose the employment could not cater for. As much as people could employ themselves, many people could become carpenters, others could become electricians, self-employed, others could become farmers. The system could not accommodate everyone. And looking at the external environment or globally, people are turning towards the technology or technological employments. Many people are employed remotely, many people are employed online, many people are working for companies abroad while in Kenya, or others are employed in abroad. They are called there physically just to work on the technological advancements. Many people are going there to write codes which run systems. And due to the changes in the way of living, the government saw it right to change the system from 844 system to CBC, where it is the competency-based curriculum, where people can do their things and they can specialize on what they do best. There are those who specialize on STEM. There are those who specialize in sports and those who specialize on social sciences. As long as you choose your pathway early enough, as you join the grade 10, your future seems to be bright, or it seems to be defined, and you can do as much as you can just to stick into your field and do the best you can. And that way, we remove the confusion of getting very many educated people who go up to university level and then they do not know what they can do. That is what 844 system had failed on. I hope the CBC system will address the challenge of educating people for 16 years, and when they come from the school system, these people cannot employ themselves. They cannot think outside the box or cannot be creative unless they are told, yeah, this is unemployment and you're going to teach you on how to do the work from the job. Again, it is good for a country that exists together to create wealth together, and that we might so that we can ignore the difference that we have. Let me start with the global arena. When you look globally, starting in the abroad, in the US, where the Trump system or Trump administration came with a way of eradicating people from the United States of America. They said that they're going to take out the illegal immigrants. When they said that, and when the people agreed that was right, these people got a way of eradicating all the immigrants into America, even those who are there legally, those who hold the visas and are legally into the America. They say that as much as the white dominance is threatened, it is difficult for America to grow. These people just know that as long as the whites are not dominating what they are doing, the rest of the race cannot do what they do better. So they are trying as much as they can to make America white again and cleanse America ethnically. That is, instead of embracing diversity, where every race, every person of any race or any gender or any person of any origin, either disabled or all, can work in America, they are trying to make America a country where only able-bodied people, the whites, mostly whites, can control the land. When you listen to their rhetoric, they are saying that every person should go back to their countries. That said, people are selfish in nature, and when people feel as if they are being oppressed or what they have is being taken from them, they employ all the tactics to defend themselves. And when the difference between politics and national development are not separated, at some point politics takes over a country, and if it is not checked well or completely, the country would erode into a political arena where you never know when the country is developing or when political rhetoric are always running. Coming back to Kenya, when you look at the Kenyan system, since the introduction of the 10 years limit, any president who gets into the seat, they fight their best to capture power for the next 10 years. As much as there are 5 years first term and 5 years second term, whereby the president's second term is determined by how they do in the first term, when they get into the power, they do everything possible to make sure that they go back and continue with their term so that they can complete their 10-year cycle. With that said, these people whom we have chosen do not differentiate between politics and development. And that's why we find that developments sometimes are very limited towards the lower regions or the regions which elected a leader. That's a very bad way of politicking, whereby for the people or the regions in Kenya which cannot produce a president or a powerful person, they will barely get development. Although equalization funds were given to counties like the northeastern counties, Pwani, those regions in the coast and northeastern or eastern parts of the country, that does not work entirely to develop those regions, because, as you know, we have different levels of governance. We have national level and county level. So when the equalization funds are sent there, some counties do not know how to manage those funds, because some counties are massive and they cannot do development like roads and get to capture the whole region. So some will do as much as they can, but still the changes are not seen. For instance, when you compare Kitui County with Kiambu County, Kitui County is almost more than 10 times, if not more, compared to Kiambu. So as much as you do the roads in Kitui, you need to do the roads 10 times the much they can do here in Kiambu. I do not say that is an excuse for the people of Kiambu, the leaders of Kitui not to perform, but I'm saying that as much as we have counties and our leaders down there are also doing their best to organize those population there also to get employment. So if you do not have a president who can influence development in your regions, you are cooked. Now, going back to the hot topic that is going on now, the difference between national schools in each region. As you know, the Ministry of Education allocates national schools to each region just to create that diversity and also inclusion, so that each region, as much as they have national schools, they will have people from other regions who come there and study there, because they understand that by living in a place for more than a year or longer, you're going to understand the culture and how people from that place behave and why they behave like that. So when we have national schools in one region, more national schools than the other, you find that that region is more exposed. People know more about that region than other regions. In that case, you find that a region like Nairobi has so many people from so different areas because of the development that is in Nairobi. You find that Nairobi has many national schools and many people fight to come to Nairobi to get education. Even when you look at the private schools, many private schools in Nairobi are the advanced private schools in Nairobi, because it is a cosmopolitan county where almost everyone tries to be a citizen or a member of. Talking about that, I would like to point out at the differences in the allocation of national schools. Not every region has many national schools, and that means for the students who do well in those regions cannot be accommodated in the few national schools that in that area. And so, as much as they have done well and national schools were created to accommodate the people who have performed well, or to accommodate students according to the merit or merit-based accommodation, it is just fine or okay to allow each national school to take students from each area. As I was reading through some notes, I found that even as much as national schools are located for everyone, 30 to 40% of the basic population of that school or admission of that school must come from that local region. Let's say, for instance, if in Nairobi we have Lenana School, Lenana School must accommodate 30 to 40% population of Nairobi before they go out to other counties. Same with Kiambu, where we have Alliance and Mangu and other schools. Also, I have found, as I was also going through my notes, I found that national schools are distributed not equally, but each county has a national school. And that means each county has the power of uplifting education in its area. However, I have seen that Rift Valley has the most number of high schools, national high schools. That means that region gets most of the people who are merit-based. And that's why many people maybe go there to study in the likes of Nakuru High, in the likes of Moi Cabernet, and other national schools. So as much as we debate saying that kila mtu asomee kwao, it is only fair to say that for the people, because when you look for the people who have scored marks which just guarantee them to study in their locals, because when you look at the ranks of the high schools, you find that there is national school, there is extra county, and there's county and sub-county schools, which are mostly day schools. So if the leaders, all the local leaders can develop from extra county to county and the sub-county schools, they would have done favor to their people. And as I said, our leaders sometimes do not care how their people are doing, and also do not even want to look at how their people are going to develop. Most of them are self-driven. They are very selfish. They take the money meant for development and put it into their pockets, making their people to wander around each county looking for schools. What am I saying? What I'm saying is that as much as we put pressure on each other, saying that kila mtu asomee kwao, we should know the systems and how the system works, such that national schools are meant to serve the whole nation, because even the development is not done entirely by the county where they are built, as much as the counties contribute a lot through the giving the environment, also ensuring that the school runs well, and also the RMBs that they have done to develop the school. But the national outfit also works a lot, from the president to the leaders who go to develop that school, and also the alumni. With that said, I want to say that every leader in Kenya should be held accountable. And if each leader could just give a little effort into developing their regions, there could not be these fights. And even when our people are sent from in the likes of United States or Europe or the developed countries, they would have a place to come and work. So let us make Kenya work. Let us live in love. Let us live in harmony. As much as I said that we love ourselves so much, we are selfish beings. We can also extend a leave to each person, accommodate your neighbor, love them, and let them feel loved. Because when we live in love, it is easier to develop our Kenya and get a good place for each and everyone, and build an economy that can accommodate every Kenyan. So I pray that as the year advances, that each one can work their best, give everything that they can for better Kenya and better everyone. And also, when our politicians are doing their best to divide us, let us do everything we can to make sure that we are not divided, and that our goal is one, to hold them accountable, so that if they do not do their work, they know that they are either not finishing their terms or they are not getting back. This is a message to every other county, to each county of Kenya. Do not vote back a leader who does not serve the interest of the county. Do not vote back a president who does not care about where Kenya is going, but only cares about their second term. Do not vote for a leader who will not build roads, who will not provide clean water for their people, who will not provide electricity to the last mile. People do not build schools for the children of their voters, and do not give your votes for people who only come with small monies during campaigns and lie that they're going to do development, and yet they do not do it. Let us embrace a better Kenya. Let us pray for a better Kenya and also work towards building a better Kenya through voting in better people who are responsible enough to do what they are sent into the parliament to do.